Are we going to start?
Yes, Maria, I've pressed the recording, so we are on air. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to a live event organized by the Web 2.0 Tools team of the European Network of eTwinning Ambassadors. Our webinar tonight aims at teaching two tools, Blabberize and PurposeGames, and belongs to a series of live webinars that take place twice a month on every other Wednesday at 7 o'clock CET. My name is Natalia Tzitzi. I'm primary school teacher. I teach English in a primary school in Athens, Greece. And my partner tonight is Maria. She's gonna give you a few, she's gonna give you some information about the process, what we're gonna do tonight. And the floor is yours, Maria.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I'm Maria Rosaria from Italy. I teach Italian history and geography in a lower secondary school in Mantua. It's a town in the middle of Po Valley in the north part of Italy. So I will explain briefly the process that tonight we're going to have. So we will focus on the presentation for 5 to 10 minutes of Blabberize, and then you can ask questions in the chat box. We have 5 minutes to answer, your questions. Then you have 10 minutes to practice. You can use the tools and share your creation with the rest of us in the Padlet wall. I think Natalia already brought put the link on the chat box. The same is going to happen for Blabberize. Of course, the process is the same. So then it's Natalia's turn. She will present the Blabberize, the purpose game. You will write the question in the box, 5 minutes answering the questions and practicing and sharing. And then, of course, if you have more questions while working, then we'll answer it. Okay. Finally, at the end, we will spend 2 minutes on evaluating the webinar as a whole. So please, this is an important part for us. So, what do you think? Are we going to start with Blabberize? Okay. I cannot see the presentation, Natalia.
Would you like me to share?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you prefer PDF or PPT?
It doesn't matter. It's
okay.
It's the same.
Now I'm going to share my screen, so I won't be able to see the questions in the chat box. Are you sure you can see them? They are in the shared content. Share.
Okay, wait a second. In the shared document. Okay, I will share. I will try to share it. Okay. Sorry, wait a second. Okay. Sorry, I cannot find it. Sorry.
Let me. Okay.
Wait a sec. Sorry about that.
Rosaria, maybe we should turn to the online presentation.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Okay. Okay.
So here's the link.
In the link?
Yeah, click on it and then you share your screen.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here the presentation. I will share my screen.
Yes.
Then I think. Oh. Share. Oh my God! Sorry.
In the pods. You remember?
Yeah. Yes. Of course. Sure. I'm looking at share.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we can see it.
Perfect. Can you see?
I can see your screen, I think. Yes.
Okay. Let's stop here. Perfect. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I will go ahead. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the process. Can you see it?
Yes.
Natalia? Okay. So yes, I will start then. Okay. So this is the process that I already explained. So let's go to Blabberize. Okay. Blabberize is a free online tool that allows you to create in a very easy way a talking animation from a photo or any other images that you have. You have to go to blabberize.com to register. Once you take care that pupils must be 13 years old or older to use these sites and its services, or they must have a permission from a parent or a guardian. And teachers, this is the way that you can solve the problem. You can create as a teacher a class account and students can't use it. Okay. Once you are in, you can make a Blabberize. You see the number one. Okay, you just click make, and then you find a picture. So you browse and select a picture from your computer. When the picture is already selected, you click the open button. We'll see the pictures that will appear in the Blabberize, and you can start to work on it. First, you can use the two pink circles at the corners of the pictures to select the area of the image that you want to use. Then you use the pink button, the number 5, to crop it. Once you are done, you click the blue arrow to move on. So the arrow always let you go on. Sorry, what's up? Okay, so sorry, I will share again. Okay, here we are. Can you see me? Okay. So let's go ahead. Once you have done, you see it will appear an orange circle, the number 7, with several small dots around. That you have first of all, of course, you have to move this circle and position it in the right place, since that one is going to become your mouth. And this is probably the hardest part of all of making your blabber. So you have to stay over here a little bit and maybe try a few times, okay? You have to use all the small dots to shape your mouth. Using the purple dots, you are going to form the top and down of your mouth. Using the small green dots, you can continue to shape the mouth, the big green button points to the place where your character's jaw will move. So it will show how wide is the mouth when he talks. If you have two items in the pictures, you can add mouth using the plus sign in the pink button, or also you can remove a mouth. Of course, with the blue arrow, you move on. Now, once your mouth is positioned in the right place, you can record your voice. You can upload a sound file from your computer, or you can use a microphone. In this case, there will be a pop-up window that requires you to allow microphone access to Blabberize. At this point, you can start talking. There is a green bar indicating sound, and the mouth is going to move when you talk. Then you click the red button. You see the yellow arrow in the middle. So click the red button to start and stop recording. Click the X to delete your recording, and click the arrow to play your recording and preview your audio. If you don't like the way your mouth is moving, you can go back easily and reshape it. Just clicking the button you see in the red circle. Okay, there is the icon of the mouth. If you click there, you can reshape the mouth of your blabber. When you are satisfied with your recording, click again the arrow to move on. At this point, you have several options. You can make another scene, so you will have a Blabberize made by 2 or maybe even 3 or 4 more scenes. So your blabber will consist of 2 or 3 or 4 talking images, and you can edit the scene to make changes to your work, and you can save your Blabberize. If you want to save, of course, before saving, you have to give it a title. You have to type in a brief description. You can add some tags, and you can set your blabber to private if you want. Otherwise, it will be show up in the search of browse page. There is also an icon, mature, close to the private icon. A mature is an icon to designate your blabber for a mature audience. It means that the blabber that are designated as mature are not appropriate for students. At this point, finally, you can click Save and save your blabber. Once your blabber is saved, you may share it with others. When you click Share it, you receive a URL or an embed code that you can copy and paste in eTwinning, for example. Okay. Of course, as a creator of this blabber, you may edit or delete it whenever you choose. There is also another possibility. You can make a video and download it on your computer. You see on top of this screen, you have the make, just to make a blabber, browse to find other blabbers from other people, and my stuff. Now we are in my stuff. My stuff basically is the home page. Okay, here you can find all your blabbers. You have your account information, the things that you have made, blabber you have made, the blabber that you have deleted, the things that you liked, your friends, because it's like a social. Okay, you can search for friend and add it as a contact. So as you can see, Blabber is a very, very easy tool, but let's see how can we can use these tools. Well, it's a great tool for introducing yourself. So students, pupils can use to introduce themselves in a funny and different way. They can use it to present information or present their favorite movie or author or actor or whatever. They can create short dialogues or conversation. This is very funny. They can personify an object. So write a story about this object and personify it. They can explain a concept. They can introduce a project. They can use it for book reviews. So, and then of course you can maybe imagine a lot of other use of Blabberize. Regarding the time limit, as long as I know, there is no limit, not on recording time. Okay, I have recorded for 3 minutes, but I think even more, because as long as I know, there is no limit for the recording time. So I think this is enough. If you have questions, then I will be very happy to answer you. And here I put some examples that for sure Natalia is going to put in the chat box. Okay, Natalia?
Yes, the links are going to be in the chat box in a second. Here are the links to the 2 Blabberize creations, which you can explore. There is also a link to the Padlet wall. There you can add the link to your creations with Blabberize. I'm pasting it, I'm adding it here for you to use it. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat box, or you could start experimenting with Blabberize for the next 5 minutes. The link to the Padlet wall doesn't work. Valentina, is that what you mean? The link to the Padlet wall?
Okay, I will post it. I will write it in the chat box. Okay. This is the link to the Padlet. Can you see in the chat box?
The link is in the in the chat box. Valentina, does it work now? Okay, it works.
Okay, okay. So maybe it was the right, the wrong link. Okay, perfect. So any questions about Blabberize?
The presentation was very clear, so there are no questions.
Okay.
Everything was clear.
Okay. And yes, and it was easy. It is an easy tool. So, but it's very effective. You know, very nice. Okay. So, are you going to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And you can probably see the presentation right now. Some of the participants were asking for viewing rights of the presentation. Here you can see the presentation, and you can have the whole of it in the European Ambassadors group, along with a recording of this session. So let me check the time.
Yeah, we are on time.
Okay. So since I'm sharing my screen, maybe I could share the Padlet and see whether there is any action going on there. If you have edited any of your creations.
Okay.
Something went wrong. Maybe Maria, you could copy paste your creations on the Padlet wall for the participants to see.
Okay. Yeah, you mean the example, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, wait a second. Mm-hmm.
And if you have any questions about Blabberize before we switch to PurposeGames, you feel free to add them in the chat box.
Okay, now this is one. Okay, I'll do the other one. Can you see the first one?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Here I put the 3 example. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
So let me give you one more minute. If you want to add your creation with Blabberize on the Padlet, well, you can, of course, you can do it after the webinar is over. And the Padlet wall will remain public for you to post your creations, either with Blabberize or with PurposeGames.
So Natalia, but I cannot see the chat box.
Can't see. Maybe if you turn me into a presenter, you will have, you will be able to see the chat box. What do you think? Should we start with purpose games?
No, it's not that one. Okay, I'm trying to find out where can I change your role, but it's in the meeting part. Okay.
Maybe this cannot be changed. I'm not sure right now.
Yeah, probably no, because you made the event, so probably I cannot change your role.
Yeah, I can change it. So I make myself presenter. Okay.
Okay.
So you can still see my screen. Is that right?
Sure.
Okay. And
yeah.
I'm starting with the presentation.
Okay.
We
see the Padlet.
Yes, I wasn't sure whether you were done. Could you turn off your microphone so there aren't too many sounds?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So this is Purpose Games. To visit Purpose Games, you just follow the URL that you can see at the top of the screen here. This is the home page. First, we take a look at the upper part of the screen, the black bar. There is a button help here at the far end of the screen, which leads us to frequently asked questions. And this feature comes really handy when someone starts using Purpose Games. It would be wise to take a look at frequently asked questions before creating a game or playing a game for that matter. Next to help, there is register free. It means that the service is provided free of charge, at least for the time being. To sign up, you add a login name. You choose one your pupils recognize if you intend to use Purpose Games in class. To register, you also need an email address and a password. To log in, you just use your username and your password, or your email and your password. After logging in and playing a couple of games, your home page changes, and next to your name there is the number of awards or medals you have acquired, such as the bronze medal that you can see here. Moving to the left, there is your avatar with your profile picture and a drop-down menu with your games, your playlists, and account settings, which affect your profile. On the left of the screen here. You can edit your account settings, such as your profile, avatar, and password, by clicking on Settings, the last button on the gray bar. The gray bar features refer to your Purpose Games life. The way we eTwinners have an eTwinning life on eTwinning Live. This is the same. The gray bar here is the same for your Purpose Games life. Here you can see the games that you have created, your statistics, that is how well you have done in playing and creating games, the lists of games you played, your favorite games, the badges you have acquired playing games, the connections with other players you have made throughout your Purpose Games life, and the groups you have joined. PM stands for your private mail. You can also open your mailbox, your private mail, if you click on the envelope icon here. On the right of the envelope icon, there is the globe icon, which stands for the notifications that you receive, such as an invitation to join a group, for example. On the left, there is the playing queue. This is the playing queue button, which reveals the games you have joined in and played so far. It's some sort of a personal history. Next to the playing queue, on the left, there is the tourist guide. This is the tourist guide icon. Before playing any game, take the tourist tour to find out what others have created. This is what others, this screen is actually what others will be able to see if they come across a game you have created. Here you can see the category your game falls into. Here it is literature. Then you can see the title, Classic Picture Books Part 1. Below it, you can see the name of the creator by Lisa Ann. Next to it, there is the word more, which you may not be able to see because of the way I have created the slide, designed it. But here I can tell you there is the word more, and there is a little arrow. If you click on the arrow, you have a short description of the game, which you will also be asked to add in case you are creating the game. The description can help you understand what the game is about. For more information about the game, you click I here. I stands for info, and it gives you information as to what you have to do in order to score. To have a great score. Here you can find the number of the questions that you should answer, how many of them you answer correct, and how many of them you answer wrong. These two numbers change at the end of the game. On the right, you can see the number of times this particular game has been played. You can see how much people liked it, and then the last feature is the timer, which is an important feature of Purpose Games, which it makes the game more challenging, particularly if there are not many questions. So if you intend to use Purpose Games with your students, remember that there should be plenty of time if there are many questions. If there are easy questions, you could limit the time that they have. If you want to play the game, you either press play. You press play down here, the play button. Now here, let's go up for the last time for the black bar. This feature here is if you are looking for specific content for games, users, or playlists that have been created by others and may serve your current teaching purpose, you can type a keyword in the search box. For example, Shakespearean tragedies. The keywords here are for an English literature class. And here, down here, you can get the results. By now, we have covered the main features of the Purpose Games tool, the black bar, our profile on the gray bar, and we have found out how we can play a game. So let's move on to the blue bar and see what we can do here, because this is the main part, the core of the tool. So here we have games. Games arranged by how many times they were played or liked, or by the date they were created. Next to it, there is explore, which means you can explore games by tags or find out tournaments that are on your friend. But you can find out tournaments that are on, or the friend suggestion for games. The friend suggestions for games can appear here on the wall. Tags can be keywords that people use when they create the game. We'll see it in a moment. These are keywords that can help you find a game that you like. Next is groups. You can get an overview of groups of players or of groups of game creators. You may share the same interests, so you can join these groups and find games that you like, or you can create your own group. We skip create to move on to badges. Here under badges you can find what types of recognition there are in PurposeGames, if there are any tournaments, as well as leaderboards. Here you can find who the most active players are, those that have played lots of games, and how well they have done. Now it is high time to create our own game. On mouse over create, on the blue bar, a drop-down menu opens and we can select one of 7 different types of games. For all games, we need to decide on 3 parameters. Number 1, title. This should be 3 to 4 words. Number 2, category. When title is filled out, you get an auto-suggested list of categories. Here's the list. And number 3, prompt or a clue that you should add to lead your students or players as to what the game entails, what it is about. Then you add arrows, rows and columns, that is questions and answers. For example, you want to create, let's take this slide from the bottom. Let's say that you are a German teacher and you want to do a vocabulary test on new words that the children have learned as part of the German class. So you add the German word here and you add your native language translation there, so as to fill in question and answer. And then you add a row for the next question, for the next German word and the translation. And you do these for all 30 words that you intend to use for your vocabulary test. And then you press save. Now, let's take a look at what else there should be in creating a text quiz, which is one of the types of games that we can create with PurposeGames. Here we've covered that with the title and the category and the description. Here you can also add some tags with keywords that can help search engines find your game, and then you can add an image, which is one that you upload from your computer. After you complete this part, you turn to game settings. In the meantime, it would be wise to click and save, because this particular tool doesn't save automatically your work. You have to save from time to time. So you click on settings, and this is the list of settings that you have to configure for your test. So for number 1, you have to decide whether your game is going to be public or private. Set a game that you want to share with the world as public, because setting it to private makes it invisible. It doesn't appear on any list or in the shirts. So if you want to share it with your students, it should be public. Now, if you have to remember that if it is public, you should avoid using images. For example, the one that you have to add here, you should avoid using images that may expose your students. The second setting refers to how many chances a player gets with this particular game. You can set the game to end on the first wrong answer if you want to make it more difficult, or let the game go on until the user gets all correct, no matter how many wrong tries are used. Third setting, game playing timer. This defaults at 8 minutes, so but you can change that. This is the default time, but you can change it and you can choose from 10 seconds to 60 minutes. If you set it to 1 hour, 60 minutes, it makes the clock count upwards from 0 up instead of countdown style. And then it asks you whether you want to scrabble the questions with the answers, either the questions or the answers. It would be very easy if the questions and answers are shown in the same order. So it might be wise to click on show questions in random order. Then we have advanced options. This one about navigation decides whether or not a user can move on to the next question without answering the one currently in focus. And this is very good, particularly with children. So if they can't answer one question, give them the right to go on to the next question. Fixed number, the next one, hide answer percentage during gameplay. You can hide or show the number of correct answers given. And sorry, the last one, you use fixed number of questions. This is very handy setting, because this applies when you have a game with, for instance, 100 questions. These questions might be shapes in a shape game, or dots in a dot game, or questions in a multiple choice game. But you only want to use 10 different ones each time. So you're actually creating 10 games for your students to play. And each game can be played many times without getting too much of the same questions asked over and over again. So you click this last box in case you wish to create such a big game with 10 different smaller games in it. You click on save, and your game is ready. Here you can see a screenshot of an image quiz. If you wish to teach seasons of the year, names of plants, shapes, the names of famous poets, you can take a picture of the 4 seasons or a picture of plants, shapes, or poets, and you can create an image quiz. Each one of these dots stands for a shape. So if you click on oval, okay, here it asks for, it's in Spanish. So if you're looking for una estrella, so you probably click on this one. Yes, the star. I think this is what it means. Then we have an example of a matching game. Players should match an item from column A with one from column B and another one from column C. That's the matching game. And here we have an example of type the answer game. That's actually not an example. It's the settings for this particular type of game, because only for this one you need to decide the design of the game and decide the layout, the design parameters such as text color, background color. This is a feature that only this particular game has. And finally, we have a screenshot of a multiple choice game for eTwinners. And you can play this one. Here, here's a list of games, purpose games for you to play. 2 of them are for eTwinners. They're testing your knowledge of twin space. There is another one for the English class and another one for geography class. They'll be in the chat box in a second. Okay, what we wish you to do now, if you can, you could you could play one of these games, the ones that I just showed you. You can complete the game, take a screenshot of your result, and then post it on the Padlet wall for us to see your score, or just to share your score, in fact. Or you could use PurposeGames and create a game right here and now, and post your post the link to your game on the Padlet wall for the other participants or for us to play. I don't know. Maria, I'm done. You are host. You can.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The only problem is that I couldn't see the chat box, so I'm not sure if there have been questions or not. So let's have a look now.
Okay. There are no questions there as far as I can see, but I'm adding the links to the purpose games for you to play.
Because I cannot see the chat box. No.
Yes. I should stop sharing my screen, I suppose. Right? Yes, stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay. If there are any questions now, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay, Natalia, I don't know why, but I can still see the chat box. I don't know why.
Yes, now I can't see it either. I'm a presenter now. I can't see it. Could you turn me into a host? That is why I can't see the pods.
Okay. Oh, and this. Okay, wait a sec. Okay. So Natalia, make host, right? All right.
Yes.
Now you are host.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. The pods are here. Let me see the chat.
I still cannot see the chat.
Yes.
That's strange.
Okay.
Okay.
Here it is. Can you see it now? Okay. So everybody, are there any questions that you wish us to answer? Let me add the link to the evaluation tool. You can tell us what you think you learned, or any suggestions how we could improve European investors webinars. Okay, thank you for typing. I should also remind you that the network of European ambassadors plans webinars on a variety of topics. There are 4 different groups. There are 4 different groups. There is the Web 2.0 group. We are part of it, Maria and myself, and there is also the training group, the pedagogical group, and there is also a 4th one which skips my mind right now. So, and I would like to remind you that a variety of webinars are organized by the European ambassadors. So for next Tuesday, April the 17th, there is a webinar at 6 o'clock Central European Time. It's a training webinar on effective communication in eTwinning projects. And on Wednesday after next, there is another Web 2.0 webinar. It's going to be on Tripline and learning apps by 2 very well-known and awarded eTwinners, Rania Bekiri and Takeliki Kuyuruki, who are also eTwinning ambassadors. So the presentation will be shared, yes, in the European Ambassadors Group, along with the recording. You can find it there. I think it's public, so any eTwinner has access to this part of the group. If there are any other questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you for having joined us.
Thank you very much to you all.
If you decide to add your creation to create something with Blabberize or PurposeGames, it would be great to see your creation on the Padlet wall. Hello, Svetlana. Long time not seen. Thank you, Tsebi. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much for being here.
So thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody. It has been a pleasure.
As far as I remember, it can't be done. I'm not. I think that you need the HTML code to do so, because there is no embed option when sharing the game. Let me give you the HTML code, which you can use with any app that cannot be embedded directly into the TwinSpace. Oops. Sorry, chat went away. Where's the chat?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone again.
Here it is.
Okay. So the HTML code is this. If you wish to copy it, and then it's the URL. You add the URL of the game, the link of PurposeGame, and at the end you add inverted commas, and you go on with width, and height. It's not easy, difficult to remember it. Yeah, after you do it a lot of times, you can remember it. You copy it now and you keep it somewhere where you know that it will be easily accessible. The only thing that you have to do after that is copy it and then add the link to whatever tool you want to embed in the TwinSpace.
Yeah, this is very useful.
it might, I don't know, it might look very complicated right now, but as soon as you do it a couple of times, it's very easy. And the other thing that you could do is to copy the link and then add it to the text on the TwinSpace page. You won't have you won't be able to see the game on the TwinSpace, but it's a lot easier that way. But I'm telling you, it's not difficult to do that. I don't suppose there are any more questions. If those of you who are still here wish to ask us anything, we'll be here for the next 2 minutes.
Okay, I posted again the link to the evaluation survey. So if you want to complete it, as long as we finish the meeting, we thank you a lot.
So Maria, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you everybody for being here.
Okay, so it's time to finish. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed it.